Hey girls, do you know who the Queen of England is?
Do you mean Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah,
Actually, it's Queen Elizabeth II.
that's right, and we're gonna learn all about her in this video. Stay tuned, and make sure you subscribe and click that thumbs up button.
Queen Elizabeth II is head of state of the United Kingdom, head of the Commonwealth, and Supreme Governor of the Church of England.
Her reign started on February 6 in 1952.
Queen Elizabeth II is Britain's longest reigning monarch. She has even beaten Queen Victoria's record, which was 63 years and 7 months as the Queen.
Queen Elizabeth II was born on April 21, 1926. She is named after her mother and was nicknamed Lilibet.
The Queen was the oldest daughter of Prince Albert, the Duke of York, and his wife, Lady Elizabeth Bowles-Lyon.
Queen Elizabeth is King George V and Queen Mary's granddaughter.
And Queen Elizabeth had one sister, Princess Margaret. Margaret was born a few years later in 1930.
The two princesses were taught by private tutors at home and liked riding horses at their family's country home in Windsor Great Park.
And at that time, Princess Elizabeth was third in line to the British throne.
The first was her uncle, the Prince of Wales. The second was her father, the Duke of York.
Elizabeth's grandfather, King George V, passed away in 1936.
Then Elizabeth's uncle, King Edward VIII, decided to abdicate. That's a weird word. Abdicate the throne. What does that mean?
That's a great question, Gus. The word abdicate means that kings or queens decide to give up their position as the king or queen.
When this happened, Elizabeth's father, the Duke of York, became King George VI.
World War II began when Elizabeth was 13 years old.
And for their safety, Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret were moved to Windsor Castle after London was bombed during the war.
And many people believed they should have been sent to Canada, but their mother did not like this idea at all.
Next, in 1945, Princess Elizabeth entered the British Army. She was a mechanic and drove a truck.
And hey, guess what? Elizabeth was only 8 years old the first time she met her future husband, Prince Phillip of Greece and Denmark.
She was only 13 when she announced she had fallen in love with Prince Phillip.
And they began to write letters to each other and later began to secretly date because they didn't want the press to bother them all the time.
And in July of 1947, they announced their engagement and married in Westminster Abbey on November 20th the same year, 1947.
Then Prince Philip became a citizen of the United Kingdom right before they were married and changed his name to Philip Mountbatten.
He became the Duke of Edinburgh the day they married. He became a Prince of the United Kingdom in 1957.
They had their first child, Prince Charles, about 1 year later on November 14th in 1948.
They had a total of 4 children: Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward.
And their second child was their daughter, Anne, Princess Royal.
And they had 2 more sons, Prince Andrew, Duke of York, and Prince Edward, Earl of Wessex.
In 1951, her father, the king, began experiencing poor health and could not attend many public events.
Princess Elizabeth began making official visits for him until he died on February 6, 1952.
Elizabeth was then crowned queen on June 2nd in 1953. 20 million people watched on TV when this happened.
The Queen is considered the Constitutional Monarch.
And this means she is the non-party political head of state of 16 of the 53 Commonwealth nations.
And these include the United Kingdom, which is England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, as well as Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Jamaica.
These countries are known as Commonwealth realms, and their total population is almost 130 million people.
Although Elizabeth is the queen of each country, they are all independent countries.
Queen Elizabeth lives in the United Kingdom, where she also spends most of her time.
In other countries where she is queen, a different person is appointed to represent her.
And this person may be known as the Governor General.
Queen Elizabeth has been very careful to stay out of politics, and not much is known about her political views.
You see, although she is the queen of her countries, she does not tell the governments what to do.
When the Queen is in London, she meets her Prime Minister each week to discuss events.
And it's here that the Prime Minister updates the Queen on government issues and matters of state in these meetings.
Queen Elizabeth has placed 13 Prime Ministers during her time as Queen. Wow.
And some of them are Winston Churchill, Harold Wilson, James Callaghan, Margaret Thatcher, Tony Blair, David Cameron, and Theresa May.
Prime ministers like Winston Churchill used to offer advice to Queen Elizabeth when she was just starting the role of being the queen.
But now, due to her years of experience, that advice may be the other way around when she speaks to the Prime Minister.
In fact, Prime Minister David Cameron is quoted as saying she literally has heard it all before.
Queen Elizabeth is a symbol at ceremonies and public events in Britain as well as around the world.
Queen Elizabeth became the first monarch to visit Ireland since 1911.
Not monarch. Monarch.
Monarch.
She got it! Hey, guess what? Did you know that Queen Elizabeth has met a quarter of all American presidents? Wow! Well, hey, guess what? Now you, them, and I know all about Queen Elizabeth II.
Thanks for watching.
Make sure to subscribe.
Bye.